And of course, the rallying call there being that you need to be cautious of who you trust your funds to. Now, moving on to Still Matters Investment. Now, the East Africa Social Business Forum on Youth Entrepreneurship is ongoing at the Tangaza University College. And my colleague Noah Kipkemboi now joins us with more. Good afternoon, Noah. I see social entrepreneurship and business is growing, isn't it?
Well, good afternoon, Jimmy. When you talk about social entrepreneurship, essentially it's not necessarily profit driven, but the core issue is what are you doing in the society. And earlier on, I was listening to Nobel laureate talk to us, that is Professor Muhammad Yunus, and he said that majority of businesses and business, in most of the quarters is about profits. But for a moment, can we look at where the world is and make it better and go the social way? So social business, social entrepreneurship. But to help us dive deeper into this conversation and understand the nuances around that, right now I'm joined by Salome Ayugu, who's the country manager, Synapis, and also later on I'll be speaking to Anne Lau, who's the MD Africa for Impact. But Salome, looking at this issue of social business and social entrepreneurship, is it a foreign concept in the Kenyan ecosystem, or is something that has been there?
I'd like to say it's something that's quickly catching on. I'd say Kenya right now is very, very ripe for social entrepreneurs to thrive. It's something that's been a foreign concept for many because everybody just thinks you start your business to make money. But Kenya has a lot of social issues that can be solved, and also a lot of passionate entrepreneurs who are now ripe to be able to get this kind of business going.
And all over the world, Kenyans are known to be very entrepreneurial. And bottom line somehow motivates us. We like making money. So when you introduce social entrepreneurship, people are like, so you want me just to serve the community, yeah? And not make money from this. How do you balance and experience sort of a transition into a mind frame that could be able to see the bigger picture?
So there's actually a great misunderstanding of social business in particular. It's actually a balance between you solving a social problem and making a bit of money while you're at it as well. So it's all about that balance, more or less. And I feel that a lot of entrepreneurs who get into this, one of the main reasons that they feel is they don't know how to do this. So you had a negative experience, possibly growing up, and you're passionate about solving a particular problem, or you've seen a particular problem in your community, and this turns into a passion project. But when you're going through school, you're not taught how to stabilize a business or monetize a passion project or make it sustainable. So I think if entrepreneurs, especially social entrepreneurs, are really, really taught how to run social businesses, there's a higher probability of them to thrive.
Thank you very much, Salome. Salome is the country manager, Synapis. And right now, I want to invite Anne Lawi, Anne from Impact. Anne, looking at the Kenyan ecosystem now, we're talking about moving to more social business and entrepreneurship. What do you think can be done to make the environment more sustainable to this kind of business?
Thank you so much. And I think the key point is to create an enabling environment where social businesses can thrive. And that's what we are doing at Impact. We provide capital, patient capital that can be able to provide the businesses the much needed capital for them to scale and grow. And you'll find that most of the investors go for quick return of their investment. But as a social investment vehicle in Impact, we want to create patient capital, drive impact that has trickle-down effect at the bottom of the pyramid, while addressing social change that have effect to the bottom of the pyramid. And that is the most important part. Provide capital, but also be patient to work with these businesses so that they can scale and grow to provide, or rather to generate the impact that they're supposed to.
Definitely. And when we look the way a country works, an environment works, there are so many pieces that need sort of to fit together. It's sort of a puzzle. And organizations like you come in providing the issue of patient capital. From a policy perspective, are there tweaks that we can see, that we can learn from maybe ecosystems that have advanced, made more steps in matter of social entrepreneurship that we can apply here?
Of course, we have a lot of learning from West where social businesses have taken root. And that's why today's conversation are very informing. Also exchange of ideas to see what have worked elsewhere and what can be transferred here we can learn from to support the businesses that we have in the region. But more so, you will see that the key part of growing a social business is understanding a need. Is there a need, and who is affecting, who is willing to pay for it? And it's doing a business that is driven by the need in a community and ensuring that those needs are creating access to service or product that is alleviating poverty or making life better for the bottom of the pyramid. That has always been there. But how do you teach a population or a generation how to create such businesses? How do you provide capital? Because social businesses take longer. They have a longer route of becoming profitable, being sustainable. How do you provide such environment? And finally, some businesses might be in pockets or in verticals that need regulation. How do you engage governments and bring them into the table to ensure that there is proper regulation? But also these businesses have support system from agencies that are providing maybe validation or standardization for such. And that's what we do as an investor, ensuring that we have all required ingredients to help a business grow. And also at the end of it all, ensure that they have the capital to grow and scale.
Thank you very much, Anne Lawi from Impact. We really appreciate you. Thank you very much. All right, so there you have it, Jimmy. It's about looking for a need, first of all, okay? It doesn't just drop from the skies. You have to find something that you need to solve. Then at the same time, have these critical pieces, finance, an enabling environment, proper policy framework to make sure that when a social enterprise comes up or social business comes up, it's able to thrive. And that's why this particular forum, East Africa Social Business Forum, is critical in this age and time, era of climate change, era of high unemployment rate, era of poverty. Social business and entrepreneurship can be the road to the solution. Back to you, Jimmy.
All right, thank you very much. And of course, we'll be looking to for more